Okay, here's an interesting update from the Cub Cadet belt and transmission fluid filter change with new blades. When I let the tractor down after filling it, mysteriously the transmission didn't work. Well, I'm going to let you in on a little secret. I'm going to take you outside so you can see what happened. Here's the oil filter. You see anything wrong here? See this little nipple? This nipple belongs in the transmission. When the old filter came out, it was so tight a wrench was needed. Now, I don't know if you can see the screws on the top of this right in here. They're all buggered up. Somebody prior to me put that in with a pair of vice grips and Loctited it to the transmission. I had my friend bend down since his back is good, and I told him to burp the filter. In the back of my mind, I was waiting for a good laugh because I knew he was going to get sprayed with hydraulic fluid. When he didn't get sprayed, I asked him to remove it while the engine was running, and oil just fell out of the transmission. That's why the transmission didn't work. I don't know if you can see the threads screwed up where they put vice grips on them and the threads have been flattened. I now got to clean this, go back under the tractor, clean it, re-tap it if necessary, Loctite this back in again, reinstall the filter. That's brand new. I just wasted 2 gallons of brand new oil, and that's why it didn't work. Okay, here's a little video of the, there's no room under here. The nipple that came out of the transmission. Let's see if I can give you a good shot of it. There it is, that's where it goes. Of course, it rolled away. Luckily for me, it's nice and clean. There's the nipple. This is what has to go on the nipple after I clean it. Red permanent Loctite. So I'm going to clean the hole. Here I got a rag with some lacquer thinner on it. I'm going to clean the hole and put the plug in, and then put the filter back on. I'll be right back. Okay, there's a picture of the nipple with the red Loctite on it. That's generally more than I would put on it, but I'm going to drop some off and lose some when I screw it into the transmission, and I don't want this to come out again. So I'm going to screw this in, the threads have been cleaned, and put the oil filter back on, refill the transmission again, and that is the end of the transmission not working problem. Okay, I'll be back. Okay, there's a picture of the new filter on. She's all Loctited. I'm going to drop it down, fill it with oil, then we're going to drive it right before your very eyes. So, in all honesty, it was my fault for not telling my friend who can bend down and take the filter off, check that nipple, that it was in the transmission correctly, because it's second nature for me to do that, and I just assume, which I need to stop assuming, that everybody would know to do that. He did not. When we put the wrench on to get that old tight oil filter off, it backed the threads out of the transmission, and when he screwed it off and I told him to burp the transmission because the transmission wouldn't work, it's because that nipple was ready to fall out, and that's the problem. So that's it. We're going to fill it up, and I'm going to show this thing driving. We are adding oil for the second time. Luckily, I got about 20 gallons of the stuff laying around because I got to do the big tractor. Okay, the next shot you'll see will be back cutting the lawn, or my handy assistant will be. Yeah. Got to get all my mileage out of him before he heads back up to New Hampshire. Oh, I mean New Hampshire. Okay.